This is Ron Caronian with Comic Privy, and I'm meeting
James, WhyNot?
And the reason why we're speaking today is because not too long ago I did an interview with him, actually his crew, on the book Entity. And I had the opportunity to meet the writer as well as the owner of the company. And we had them signed, but didn't have the artist signed. So I wanted to make sure I give him the opportunity to sign his book. And so I had the entire trifecta. So there you go. Now I have the entire crew. Now, so I have a few questions actually as far as art.
Yeah.
Of course, you're part of the comic medium. How do you initially get involved in the comic process?
I'd say everybody's got their different story of getting in and getting into the industry. I'd say a lot from me. I went to college for sequential art, so I kind of had the upper hand on a lot of people, and I'm very, I'd say, persuasive and kind of aggressive about the way I got in. You know, you can't just wait for them to come to you. You gotta find them, like right off the bat.
So, as far as you promoting yourself to publishers and so forth.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that. You just can't be a person that just sits back drawing just thinks that you can get the attention.
Exactly.
How do you get the gig as far as with writing Entity or drawing Entity?
I got an ICCW account, so they found me on there. I was, it was convenient. I was in Florida at the time, and then they're like, yeah, get together with us, meet with us, let's talk about some projects that I want to work on. And I was like, yeah, fine, it's cool.
Good. Now, as far as art, what's the most challenging aspect for creation as far as
working in the independent market, you really you have to take any project that's really given to you if you want to eat that month or be able to sleep somewhere.
Like starving artist syndrome.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You got to take a lot of projects, and you have to set your own guidelines for how many projects am I going to take this month? How challenging is this going to be to take on 5 or 6 projects at once? So you just got to set your goals for that and just make sure everything's spaced out so where everything looks good.
Well, let me ask you a question. As far as you said you have the space to determine how many books you can work on. How many books are you currently working on right now? What kind of projects are you currently working on right now?
I'm working on 6 or 7 books right now.
6 or 7 books?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It's
when do you get time to sleep?
I don't.
there's a lot of books. I've heard probably 2 books or something. Do you feel so it interferes with your work at all? I mean, as far as the quality of work?
It really depends. I'm only doing one job. If I'm penciling one book or inking another book or writing, or if I have to do all one shot, that's where it gets a little crazy. Where I'm just like, oh man, I really gotta, I gotta bunker down and do this one project before I can hit anything else. And if I like the project more, and then I'm like, yeah.
So it's more like a pipeline.
Yeah.
A pipeline of consistent work and so forth.
Yeah.
All right, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now, as far as in the future, what do you see yourself doing as far as in the future with comics?
I'm doing a lot of stuff for for myself right now with other people, opposed to working with company. I'm working on about 3 or 4 books for pitch packets, and that's kind of where I want to get in with other companies, bigger companies, and I'm still trying to fight into the mainstream.
Okay. What do you see? The industry's changing. What do you see happening with industry as far as, this is my community question. I always try to ask community questions as far as, let's say, with digital and different things. What do you see happening with that?
I think there's a lot of third and fourth tier guys, like more of the lower end independents that they wait for people to come to them, or they don't know how to do a company, they don't know how to run it, and they're not paying their artists, because by the end of the day, you're going to sell your book. It's the content that's going to sell the book, and a lot of mainstream stuff, I mean, it's good. It'll always be there, but the content's kind of lacking, and it goes back and forth every 7 years. Like, who's more important, the writer, the artist? And the 90s were good days.
Yeah, and, the 90s, I think the 90s were good in the fact matter that anybody who was in the industry and really just they did what was right, they could just get out there.
Yeah.
Now it's a little more stagnant as far as the market. Now the story is taking more of a front line than just the art. Back in the 90s, if you remember, you could draw anything and get out there. Now it's like, you have to actually provide quality now.
Yeah.
It's not just whatever. You really have to provide something, because a book costs what, usually around $3, maybe $4. Yeah, the person wants to.
Yeah, if you're willing to pay that.
If you're willing to pay that, you want to make sure you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah. I mean, it's different because, you could have, let's think of a scenario. You could, back in the 90s, you had all the kids now who were in the 90s reading comics, just picking up because it looked cool. Now those kids are actually reading them, and they're like, oh yeah, this is more than pictures, but, your artist and your writer will sell it, but, you're more likely to pick up a book based on who's on the cover, who's doing the book, and you can't really go wrong with it. It's good to have a good team of writer and artist, but sometimes,
You're pretty much the person that reigns in everything.
Oh, yeah.
You're pretty much the rain person. So, when it comes to that, like, I noticed, like, even with the cover, I like the cover too because it had like almost like an anime, American feel. It's reminiscent. I would say Kira. You remember Kira?
Oh yeah.
It's just the image. It just brings back memories. I remember watching Kira back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I rewatched it a couple of years ago. It was just like, had the same effect. So when I first saw the book, even before I got to meet LeVar and Terry as well as yourself, I think that looks awesome. I got to at least see it. So it was because of the book, the cover, that gave me interest in seeing it. I met these guys way back when too.
Oh yeah.
But when I saw the book, I said, I have to do something with you guys.
Yeah.
Now, as far as you say, you're currently working on other projects right now.
Yeah.
Anything coming out soon?
I'm working with Martin from Cosmic Times right now. We're doing a mini series called Sold, so that's going to be out. The first issue's still, in the works. We're in the coloring process right now, but that should be, I guess, by MegaCon this year, that will be out, and then we're going to keep working on the books. If we can get 2 out before MegaCon, it'd be even better.
That'd be good. I'll be at MegaCon, so.
Oh, yeah, me too.
What are you guys doing as far as promoting, not just Entity, but the other work you're doing? I mean, what are you doing to promote? Because I'm big on that. That's primarily what my blog is all about, like promotion, marketing ideas and stuff.
With Entity, it's more, they're kind of the marketing geniuses that are promoting. I haven't really had much in the aspect of, after I finished the book, it was kind of like, thank you, we'll keep in touch kind of thing, and, I'm big about that. It's just like, you can't really be too friendly with, you gotta keep it as a work relationship. So, I mean, I try to promote as much as I can, but they're going to the events, so on that book, I really have nothing more than just being the artist. And but with other books, I am putting stuff online. I'll put up sample pages for a couple of preview stories and just promote it as much as I can. But then it's the company that's really pushing it. I'm just a guy drawing it.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing about it too. Because when you think about it, a comic book is really your business card.
Oh yeah.
How you present it. So what, when you go to MegaCon, you can be having some of these books with you to sell there too? Or?
Yeah, I'll have a lot of past work and more comics I'm working on now, and just sitting at the company booth. Or I'm going to be an artist alley with a fellow artist that I'm working with a lot recently. So we're going to be promoting real heavy there.
Okay, well, hey, I definitely look forward to meeting you there.
Oh yeah.
Wish you best of luck. Pleasure meeting you here at Barnes & Noble. So. Guys, take care.
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you again.
No problem.